Welcome sa panibago na naman nating lecture series on the subject Industrial Security Management, particularly on the TBR assessment. And here we are going to discuss about the basic concepts involving TBR assessment. Of course, we will highlight our discussion on the threat, vulnerability, and risk assessment. At the end of this presentation, it is expected that everyone will be able to demonstrate knowledge and competence on the matters involving the TVR assessment. Now let's begin with our discussion on the basic concepts regarding the threat, vulnerability, and risk. Now let's first try to understand the concept of threat. Accordingly, a threat is any indication, action, circumstance, or event that may cause harm, loss, or damage to the program or a system, including the personnel, the assets, and operation. This means that, pag sinabi nating threat, ito ay mga nagpapakita, kaganapan, or action na pwedeng magdulot ng pangamba, pagkasira, or even pagkawala ng mga pinatutupad na programa, mga sistema, or even sa personnel, sa mga assets, or those things that are very valued to the company or organization, lalo na sa kanyang day-to-day operations. No? So, sa kabuuan, pag sinabi natin threat, once again, bagay o kaganapan na pwedeng magdulot ng pangamba, pagkasira, o even pagkawala ng mahalaga sa isang organisasyon, sa isang company. Pangalawa ay ang tinatawag na vulnerability. As defined, vulnerability is a condition which results from either physical, social, economic, or even environmental factors, or even processes, which increases the susceptibility to the impact of a hazard. That means to say, vulnerability ay mga kondisyon or even kaganapan na nagmumula sa either physical na aspeto, panglipunan na aspeto, pang-ekonomiya na aspeto, pang-environment na aspeto, or even yung mga processes, mga methodologies na ginagamit or ina-adapt ng company. Na kung saan, mula dito, ito ay nakatutulong or even nakapagpapataas sa posibleng impact ng hazard. And when I talk here about hazard, kasama na po dyan yung sinasabi nating threat kanina. No? So again, sa pangkabuuan, lahat ng kaganapan na nagmumula sa madaming factors or aspeto, no, na pwedeng makapagpadagdag, makapagpataas sa posibleng impact ng hazard sa organization, sa company, or even sa kanyang assets and operations. Tinatawag po natin yan vulnerability. We can also describe that a vulnerability is a weakness. A weakness ng isang company, ng isang organization, or ng isang security system na kapag itong weakness na ito ay na-exploit ng kalaban, ay po pwedeng mag-increase ang susceptibility to the impact that the hazard may affect. No? And finally, we have the risk. The concept of risk, in general, is defined as the expectation value of losses that would be caused by a hazard. So in other words, kung pag-uusapan natin ang konsepto ng risk sa pangkabuuan, masasabi natin ito yung expected value ng pupwedeng mawala or pagkasira dulot ng hazard. And again, when I talk about hazard, kasama na po dyan yung threat and vulnerability. Now let's define what is the concept of security threat. As discussed a while ago, ito po ay potensyal na paglabag sa isang security system na kung saan ito ay nangyayari sa isang organization or even sa isang circumstance sa isang organization or even sa kanyang capability or sa kanyang ginagawa o sa kanyang mga systems or events na again, pwedeng magdulot ng harm. And when we talk about harm, yun na po yung mga undesirable or untowards na mga epekto sa day-to-day operation or even sa prestige and reputation of the company or organization. And when we talk about security threat, we can identify a lot more, no? Or we can categorize them depende sa ating nakikita. But basically, we have the so-called natural, man-made, and technological. Madami pa pong iba, depende sa nature ng ating organization o ng ating industry. So in here, we are going to talk about the basic, no, the common origin of the threats, like the natural threats. Natural threats are those disturbances or conditions originally coming from the environmental aspect, no, or from any natural um, factor. So katulad halimbawa ng crisis, katulad ng natural crisis, no? I mean natural crisis like the earthquake, no, fire, typhoon, volcanic eruption, tsunami, at iba pang mga kahalintulad na mga natural occurrences, no? Again, we also have another threat like the so-called man-made. So, basically, pag sinabi natin man-made threats, ay yung mga kaganapan no, na pwedeng magdulot ng banta, pangamba sa organization na nanggagaling sa makataong kaisipan o kagagawan. Katulad halimbawa ng mga civil disturbances, armed struggling, at kung ano-ano pang mga kahalintulad ng mga activities. And finally, we also have the so-called technological threat, no? So ito namang si technological threat ay ang mga banta or posibleng harm sa ating organization, company, or operations na originally nanggagaling sa technology. The application of the science and technology, no? Or paggamit ng mga technical means na katulad halimbawa ng mga cyber-related attacks or computer-related issues, no? Computer security issues. So ito po ay isang banta na actually sa kasalukuyan ay isa na sa mga common and very dangerous and very detrimental whenever the impact, no, as a threat to the organization. Now let's talk about how to do a threat assessment. First, let's try to understand the concept of threat assessment. Threat assessment is a logical process used to determine the likelihood of adverse events that may impact the asset or the organization itself. So in here, ang threat assessment po ay yung paggamit ng logical or methodical na mga pamamaraan upang makita natin yung potential or likelihood ng tinatawag na adverse events. Yun na po yung hazard which involves the threat, which involves the vulnerability, no, na po pwede natin makita. At gumagamit tayo dito ng madaming data na kailangan natin, no, as much as possible. Informations that can be considered as real or those that can be perceived and can be considered as talagang malinaw na isa itong banta or a threat, no? So that is how to understand threat assessment. Now, in doing a threat assessment, simple lang. We can use the simple table na atin pong nakikita sa screen, no? So sa isang banda, we need to identify the factor or the origin of the threat. So, looking at the origin or factor of the threat, po pwedeng ito ay internal, nanggagaling mismo sa loob ng organization. Pwede rin nanggagaling sa labas. Pwede rin natural, technological, or man-made. Depende sa kung ano yung nakikita natin na potensyal na banta or pwedeng harm na maaari pag na-trigger ito ay magdulot sa organization. Sa kabilang banda ay i-evaluate natin, i-assess natin yung level ng risk. So as to the indicators na ating nakikita, critical, high, medium, low, negligible, siya po yung indicators na tinatawag. Siya ang nagpapakita sa level ng risk. Ano yung si critical level ng risk? Ito po yung pinaka-worst case scenario na pwedeng maidulot sa atin as harm, damage, or loss. No? Pag sinabi high, talagang mataas po yun. Meaning to say, apektado even the top management, no, the entire organization, considering na mataas yung level ng harm na potential na maidulot sa atin whenever ma-trigger. When we say medium, katumbas po yan ng moderate na impact, no, or pwede na epekto sa atin. Pag sinabi low, of course, mababa. No? And when it is negligible, kaya pong indahin ng organization. Hindi man siya maka-apekto, pero it should be at risk, no? So yan po yung indicators. Yan po yung mga nagpapakita na pwede natin tingnan kung i-determine natin yung level ng potensyal ng threat na ito. So again, ganun lamang po paano gamitin, no, ang threat assessment, paano gawin ang threat assessment na tinatawag. On the other hand, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon yung tinatawag na vulnerability assessment at kung paano ito gawin. So as discussed a while ago, ang vulnerability ay katumbas ng weakness ng isang organization, ng isang security system, no, o ng isang company. However, pag sinabi natin concept of vulnerability assessment, it is a systematic review of a security weakness in a security system. So, ganun lamang po siya kasimple, no? Titingnan natin yung nakikita, nalalaman, napapansin natin na posibleng weakness sa ating security defense, sa ating security system, or sa ating security policies or security procedures, no? So, mahalaga na makita natin ito kasi ito yung ginagamit natin sa araw-araw, yung sinusundan natin na sistema about how we ensure security sa ating pong organization, sa ating operation, and how we protect our assets. So, in doing vulnerability assessment, the same context with threat assessment, no, halos ang kanilang proseso. We just need to identify the location or area kung saan nandoon ang weakness na yon or vulnerability. Katulad halimbawa ng fence. Kung meron tayong nakikita na weakness doon sa fence, imagine that is our first line of defense, no? The building itself, baka naman yan ay old building na kailangan na ng renovation. There is a need to assist on that. Maybe on the workhouse, sa bodega, or maybe sa mga processes sa bawat office. Saan naantala ang trabaho, saan naantala ang proseso, saan napupurnada ang sistema, ang smooth na flow ng trabaho. Yung interfacing na procedures from one office to another office. Yung tinatawag natin inter-office coordination, intra-office coordination, saan nagkakaproblema? Because that might be a process that hampers the smooth flow of the operations, and that is a vulnerability. Because when we talk about vulnerability, hindi lamang po ito literal na sa mga pasilidad or physical structures tayo nakatingin. Pwede rin natin tingnan ang mga offices as to how they discharge their processes and operational procedures doon sa kanilang mga offices as they cooperate, they coordinate, and they interface with another office. That is a weakness on the part of the processes and operations. So, depende kung saan natin nakikita ang bagay na nagsisilbing weakness or that hampers or that might be susceptible for the slow flow of operation or that might be potential na i-exploit ng kalaban na i-attack tayo or even yung mga personnel mismo that might be an opportunity on their part to commit sabotage, pilferage, yung kumo na nakawan sa company or organization. So, how do we do vulnerability assessment? Simple lang, katulad sa ginawa natin kanina, sa isang area sa atin pong matrix or sa ating table, itala natin ang area or location of vulnerability, identify natin yon, and then sa kabilang banda, tingnan natin at i-evaluate base sa level of impact, level of risk or level of impact ng weakness na yan. So indicators are just the same, critical, high, medium, low, and negligible. So pwedeng critical, the worst case scenario that may occur whenever talagang vulnerability or weakness na yan ay exploit ng kalaban. High, kung ito ay magdudulot ng mataas na harm, pagkasira, or pagka-damage sa atin. Medium, if it is moderately affects us. No? Mababa, if it is low, and negligible, if it is manageable to be addressed, no, by those concerned personnel. And we have here the 8 steps on how to do a vulnerability assessment. First and foremost, no, identify talaga natin ang nature and location ng vulnerability na yan. Pangalawa, i-determine natin kung ano ang posibleng dulot na harm nito or sino ang maapektuhan nito. At siyempre, pagkatapos niyan, kailangan natin i-evaluate yung kanyang impact, no? Yung level of risk and impact. At siyempre, hanapan natin. We need to develop control measures to that. At matapos na gawin natin ang control measures na yan, we need to record the findings. Kasi gagamitin natin yan sa pagre-review at patuloy na pag-update ng ating regular na ginagawa na risk assessment. Now in here, let's talk about the concept of risk assessment. No? Ang risk assessment is a term used to describe the overall process or method na ating ginagamit. No? So, when we are identifying hazard, we are doing risk assessment. When we are analyzing the risk and evaluating the risk, we are doing risk assessment. And so if we are aiming to control the risk, we are also doing a risk assessment. So once again, sa kabuuan, ang risk assessment na ating tinatawag ay yun pong nagdi-describe or nagre-refer sa lahat ng ating mga paraan na ginagamit just to identify the hazard which involves the threat and vulnerability, the way how we analyze, the way how we evaluate the risk, no? And of course, to control that risk, to provide measures for that risk. And if maaari, ma-prevent natin yung risk na yon. In doing risk assessment, it is important to adopt a risk assessment metrics and a risk assessment form or template. So, ito po yung mga basic na information na pwede natin ilagay. Depende sa nature ng inyong business or sa nature of your operation or industry as to how you value security, no, in terms of risk assessment. So, basic na kasama po doon sa paggawa ng risk assessment form or template ay ang pangalan ng gumagawa ng assessment, of course, ang pizza, location, at activity na subject for assessment. Yung alam natin at expected na mga hazards, risk na may kasama or kasama sa bawat araw na ginagawa ng ating mga personnel sa organization. At syempre, hindi mawawala yung possible impact, yung likelihood, at saka siyempre yung severity, yung impact niya. At importante na malagay, masama kung sino ang mga directly affected. No? Gaano kalawak ang maapektuhan. At siyempre ang mga angkop or mainam na mga measures kung paano ma-prevent, ma-eliminate, ma-mitigate, ma-control ang risk or hazard na yon. Now, if mayroon pang mga matitira kahit na atin na po na bigyan ng karampatang aksyon, ano-ano yung mga yon? Possibly. No? Kasi atin po nga hanapan muli yan ng mga countermeasures. Actions to be taken that whenever during emergencies at matrigger po yung mga natira na mga hazard or risk na yan, ay mayroon tayong nakahanda na mga contingency plans. And of course, mahalaga na malagay ang references. Paano natin nakuha yon, saan tayo nag-come up, saan tayo nag-base, so that in the future, we know how to trace, we know how to look back then. No? And finally, of course, the name and signature of the assessor or the one who conduct the risk assessment, which we believe to be an expert on that matter. So, paano ginagawa ang risk assessment? Simple lang, gagamit po tayo muli ng matrix. So, in doing a risk assessment, isa sa atin pong tinitingnan is the likelihood of occurrence or yung potensyal na siya po ay mangyari. Kaya naman, sa isang banda, we just need to identify the risk at alam naman natin kung ano ang pinanggagalingan ng risk na yan. It is either man-made, natural, individual, technological, economic, physical, social. Madami po na factor, madami po na aspeto yan. Political, as the case may be, no? Sa kabilang banda, pag in-evaluate natin yung risk na iyon, tingnan natin sa likelihood of occurrence which according to the indicators na ating nakikita, very simple and understandable sila. Definite if it is talagang mangyayari, malinaw na mangyayari. Likely, talagang very likely, no? Mangyayari na mangyayari. At occasional, kung may mga talagang occasional basis, possibly na mangyari ito. Just like for example, okasyon ng araw ng mga manggagawa kung kadalasan diyan umaatake yung mga movement about demonstration, no, mga unions, labor unions, mga civil disturbances at iba pang kahalintulad na mga occasionally nangyayari, no. Seldom, madalang na mangyari considering na medyo malayo naman na mangyari 'yon sa atin but as to the likelihood, seldom or madalang posibleng mangyari. Unlikely, maaari hindi mangyari considering the nature of our business or operation. So yan lamang po yung mga indicators that how we can see the likelihood of occurrence. Also, in doing risk assessment, pwede rin natin tingnan ang consequence or impact. So in the same context, and the same metrics, sa kabilang banda, identify natin ang nakikita nating risk. Opposite to that ay ang consequence or impact nito. So sa consequence or impact, we can use some other indicators like catastrophic, critical, moderate, marginal, and significant. And according to impact, if it is catastrophic, that is the very worst case scenario. Talagang yan ang pinakahigit na masama ang impact kung ating titingnan dahil buong organization, reputation, and its operations and assets talagang apektado. Critical, oo, significant. The organization will really suffer from the effects pero not the entire, no? Not the entire aspect na magsasuffer siya. Unlike catastrophic na talagang lahat ng aspeto. Moderate if it is affecting most probably on the middle management na sila lang naman yung concerned dyan. Kasi sa critical at saka catastrophic, talagang up to the top management and even the owner, executive committee, no, mga CEOs, talagang lahat nasa taas apektado. If it is moderately impacting the organization, most probably the extent of the problem is extending up to the middle management. Marginal if it affects only from the low-level management or sa mga ground personnel natin, yun pong mga support units natin, support staff, support groups sa baba, no? So, hindi po siya ganun ka-significant. And insignificant if the impact will not actually hampers, will not disturb, but actually that might impact. No? Pero hindi siya ganun ka significant, kaya manageable siya. No? Kayang indahin. At syempre, if we are doing risk assessment, we need to see how we can prioritize or how we will prioritize them according to our response. And of course, based on the availability of resources. Kaya naman in the same context, in the same metrics, identify lang natin yung mga risk, no? Sa kabilang banda, i-evaluate natin on how we prioritize. So sa pag-prioritize, may panibagong indicators na naman tayo. We can see extremely prioritized, high risk, then we should have to prioritize that. Medium on the next, and low risk. So if it is extreme, ang ibig lang sabihin yan, catastrophic. And definitely, mag-occur talaga siya. Catastrophic ang impact, and definitely, mag-occur talaga siya. So, we need to prioritize that. Now, high risk, if it is critical ang kanyang impact, at likely to occur. So, kung makita natin yon, it should be on the next in line. And of course, pangatlo, medium. And if it is categorized as medium, ang impact po niyan ay katumbas ng moderate at ang occurrence is occasional, ay katumbas. So, on the next in line, third priority natin siya. And finally, low risk if the impact is evaluated as marginal at ang kanyang likelihood of occurrence is seldom. So, pang-apat siya in line of our priorities. Ganun lamang po paano gawin ang risk assessment. We just need to see, to evaluate the likelihood of occurrence, the possible impact, and of course, how we can categorize or prioritize those risks. That ends our discussion. I hope that in this short presentation, you learn a lot. Thank you.